Welcome back. There's many things to recommend about this film. It's an engaging film noir based on an Academy Award nominated story. It has performances from cinema greats at early stages of their careers and from a highly accomplished director. But most importantly for me, it features one of my favourite actresses in a supporting role. It is The Strange Love of Martha Ivers from 1947. Based on the short story Love Lies Bleeding by playwright John Patrick, the screenplay was adapted by Robert Rosen and an uncredited Robert Riskin. There were two driving forces behind this film, producer Hal Wallace and the film's star Barbara Stanwyck. At the time, Stanwyck was a major star and the highest paid actress in Hollywood. She had appeared in a number of great films including Remember the Night, The Lady Eve, Meet John Doe, and had put in Academy Award nominated performances in Stella Dallas, Ball of Fire and Double Indemnity. Stanwyck had considerable influence, providing on-set instruction on how she was to be lit and warned her fellow actors and actresses not to upstage her. Van Heflin had learned a coin trick to show that his character was a professional gambler and was sufficiently intimidated by Stanwyck that he only used the trick once in a scene with her. Hal Wallace had worked his way up from the publicity department to the head of production at Warner Brothers and had been involved with films such as The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Maltese Falcon and Casablanca. When Casablanca was announced as the Academy Award winner for Best Picture, Wallace was beaten to the stage by Jack Warner. Warner had had nothing to do with the film, but he wanted to hog the limelight. This inspired Wallace to leave Warner Brothers to become an independent producer, going on to produce this film a few years later. Casting plays a crucial role in this film's quality, and that too was greatly influenced by Wallace. Kirk Douglas had been recommended to him by Lauren Bacall, and after seeing Douglas in the play Woman Bites Dog, he was cast in this, his first film. In contrast to subsequent tough guy roles, Douglas plays an alcoholic weakling, but the strength of this performance assured his future in films. Wallace's other big contribution was the casting of Lizabeth Scott. Wallace had first met Scott some years earlier at the Stork Club, where she was celebrating her 21st birthday. He scheduled an interview with her, but Scott cancelled to accept a stage role in Boston. In 1944, Charles K. Feldman saw her photos in Harper's Bazaar and offered Scott screen tests at Universal, International and Warner Brothers, where she again met Wallace. The timing was bad as he'd just resigned from the studio to form his own production company. A few months later, she returned from New York and was finally signed by Paramount. Scott was cast in this, her second film, despite the protests of Barbara Stanwyck. Despite Scott's third billing, Stanwyck was unhappy. Stanwyck believed she deserved billing above the title, with Scott and Heflin further down. It was likely fortunate that Stanwyck and Scott, because of the way that the story is structured, only have one brief scene together. Scott went on to appear in a number of good film noirs: Dead Reckoning with Humphrey Bogart, I Walk Alone with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, Pitfall with Dick Powell, and Too Late for Tears, which many critics consider her best film. Scott never achieved the levels of stardom I think that she deserved, which is one reason why the limited number of films she appears in are such treasures. Lewis Milestone was a first-rate director, so his attachment and the casting of Barbara Stanwyck are indications of how highly the producers thought of the film. During shooting, Milestone left the film for several days in sympathy with set directors, who were on strike at the time. In his absence, the film was directed by Byron Haskin, who does not receive a screen credit. After completing the film, Lewis Milestone said that he would never work with Hal Wallace again. Wallace had insisted on reshooting scenes to ensure that Lizabeth Scott had more close-ups. Milestone told Wallace to shoot them himself, and Wallace did, which may have infuriated Milestone more. The film's pre-release ad campaign consisted only of teasers, newspaper ads reading, "Whisper her name," while radio spots had a woman repeatedly whispering, "Martha Ivers." 30-minute radio adaptations were broadcast on the Hedda Hopper Show, Screen Directors Playhouse, and the Screen Guild Theatre, all as promotions for the film. John Patrick was nominated for an Oscar for Best Writing Original Story, but lost to Vacation from Marriage. The film was nominated for the feature film category at Cannes in 1947, which at the time was not a competition category. The film did quite well at the time of its release, taking over $3 million at the US box office, and has been acclaimed by numerous modern critics. The film has fallen into the public domain, meaning that there are many versions of the film that are either badly edited or of extremely poor quality, so do your best to find a good version of this particular film. For me, the main reason to watch the film is Lizabeth Scott. I think I've enjoyed probably every film I've seen her in, except for her last film, Loving You, but that's Elvis's fault. On screen, Scott is gorgeous, and she has that amazing husky voice, and her on-screen presence, while not overly polished, is convincing and relatable. I feel you see her character rather than seeing the actress giving a performance. So what I suggest you do is that you go to the website, find our virtual screenings page, find the link to this particular film, click on it and watch it. As always, see what you think. We'd love you to come back, share your thoughts on the film, whether you'd recommend it to others, and then we'll see you back again in the not too distant future for our next classic films review. See you next time.